What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today I'm at 750 characters learned. My voice is gone. I don't know why. I'm not sick. I just don't have a voice for some reason. But I just hit 750 characters learned, and I figured I usually do this in OBS, but I figured we'll just do a video like this for a little bit of a change. 750 characters, and it's obviously I've slowed down on my character learning. And it's not because I've slowed down on learning Chinese. It's because I've been spending my time a lot more immersed in Chinese content. I do a little bit of like sentence mining every day. I haven't for the last couple of days, but generally speaking, I'll mine a little bit of cards from some comprehensible input through a YouTube program like Lazy Chinese, or I'll do some reading through Mandarin Bean, which you can sort by like HSK level. So I can do level 2 or 3, or if I want to try a 4, something like that, I can do that to see kind of where I'm at. And that feels really, really good. I do, when I'm going through Mandarin Blueprint, I do go through the sample sentences, but I don't save any to flashcards or anything like that, because to be quite frank, a lot of the sentences are really weird. I had one the other day where it was like, I can't remember what it was, but it would be something to the effect of, it's like, oh, he's really sleepy, so he can't dream well, or something like that. Like sometimes the sentences are just a little bit wonky. And I do read for context. I'll read those when I get the new word, when I unlock the new character. But other than that, I know that I'm going to see these words kind of in the wild, so to speak, whether I'm reading or not. I did start reading through a little bit of the Mandarin Blueprint, like stories that go along with the characters. But again, even with that, I've noticed that I simply see stuff in content that I can just get anyway. I watched a video the other day that was I think it was story learning Chinese with Annie, I think was, and she was doing like a game where it was like, guess what's in the box, and she would give you stuff that was in the box. She would give you clues about it, and you would have to guess along with what it was or whatever. And being able to understand a video like that, and again, it's very beginner. She's speaking in very beginner, like basic conversation, like it's nothing intricate. I'm not trying to present a level higher than what I am, but being able to follow along at that at around 90%. I think is pretty solid. It made me feel pretty good. And it's funny because sometimes like there's things that happen in learning Chinese where I came across a thing, and she had a mouse, like it was a mouse, not like a computer mouse. And she was describing it. When she was talking about her mouse, she said it had lanya. And I was like, a mouth with lanya? I was like, what does that mean? And so I looked at the character, and I was like, okay, so it's a character. So this mouse has something that's blue and something that's a tooth. And it finally clicked, and I was like, oh, it's Bluetooth. Like, I don't know why, but there's sometimes in language learning where I don't think that the translation will be literal. Like, I'll think that they have their own word for it. And then I get lanya, which is it's literally Bluetooth. And so there's stuff like that happens that it kind of cracks me up, but I'll never forget that now. But going through that kind of stuff has been really good. And I do plan on continuing to go through the characters as I'm going through, but instead of putting an emphasis on the like learning the character specifically, although I'm trying to do a couple a day, and I'm not spending as much time writing. I still write. I write it when I learn it. I'll write it the first 2 or 3 times that I review it, but then I'm spending a lot less time with reviews and a lot more time reading and watching content, which I think is going to be very, very crucial. And I haven't started any kind of output or anything. I mean, yes, I've spoke Chinese. I've spoke Chinese at restaurants and stuff. But as far as any intricate, like direct practice where I'm like, I have to speak this amount of time per day, it's just not something I've done yet. I do want to do it. And I don't really have a mark for when I want to start trying. I have an idea of something that I want to do in order to do that, especially for a video. But I've just been taking it slow. And if I have an opportunity to speak a little Chinese while I'm out, I'll do it. But if I don't, I'm not overly concerned about it. If I go to a Chinese restaurant, I will generally speak a little bit because I know enough kind of get my way through there. Now, if they start speaking on a little bit more intricate topics, obviously that can cause me to, ting budong, I don't understand. I don't know what you're saying. But generally speaking, I can speak about a plethora of topics at a very, very, very beginner level, and I can get my way through. I'm not trying to have full-blown conversations right now. My passive vocabulary is really, really large, and I'm honestly working on perfecting that. And because in order to have a conversation, I have to be able to understand what's coming in as well. And I do think that listening and comprehending and stuff is very, very important. Again, I'm not shying away from output. Like, I'm not doing this whole whatever it is approach, mass immersion approach, where it's like, oh man, if you even think about outputting, you're just the devil, kind of thing. Like, I'm still doing essentially what I want in language learning, which has worked great. It's just, this is what I'm concentrated on right now, is being able to understand. So I am anxious to start. I get really excited. I was at the eye doctor the other day, and there was a Chinese family there, and they had their little kid there, and they were speaking to him, and obviously they're speaking to a child. So when you speak to a kid, like, I know when my kid was young, we would speak to him in very, very easy terms and stuff. And being able to hear that conversation was really awesome. The other thing is as I've continued to learn, what I've noticed is a lot of the words, I can remember words like struggling with, and now when I hear them in context, I'm at a point where there's a lot of words, probably 1,000+ words, that I don't have to translate or think about, or like, okay, what does that mean? Where is this at? This came after this, so this means, okay. Like, I just hear it, and I know what it is instinctively. And of course, that's come with increased immersion time, increased reading time, and increased listening and stuff like that. And that feels really, really good. So while it's taking a long time, I think this is probably the longest I've stuck with a language, like every day, day in and day out, outside of, I had a little like week or two break when the hurricane hit. But outside of that, I've been dedicated daily to spending time in Chinese since, God, I don't know, May or June-ish. And that feels really, really good. Again, I had experience before that. I'm not starting scratch from that point, but I think it's doing it really, really good. I still think Mandarin Blueprint is an incredible system to get a ton of characters under your belt. Being able to read the characters and not just memorize a whole shape for everything, but the way that they break it down into, I always say radicals because of Japanese, but I guess they're components, whatever you want to call them. Break it down to where I can look at the character, know what it is, know the tone, know the pronunciation and stuff. I think it's been very, very helpful. And of course, with reading practice, I'm seeing stuff all the time that I've learned. Like, most of the characters that I see, I learned. In the last video I did, I read a little bit without hearing. And so you can see that if you want to on the previous video. But learning character by character has honestly really helped me with just learning Mandarin, hearing stuff and being able to have kind of this like pictograph in my head of what somebody is saying. Like, it's really helped me differentiate between words like sure, 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 sure. Because it seems like in Chinese, when they default and they don't know, they're just like, it's sure. It's SHI, just throw a tone on it. That's what it is. And so being able to have a character, even if I have 100 characters in my brain for something that's sure, depending on the tone, it's helped me to be able to understand what is going on. So I'm very, very satisfied with my results right now. I'm very, very happy with going through at a slow rate, at a slow pace of learning character, because there's tons of words that I know that I don't know the characters for. And being able to watch content. And when I watch content, I may mine a video, and then I will watch a video, and like, I'll watch that same video without stopping it, so I'm getting the playthrough. And the fact that I'm going through intermediate level comprehensible input, yes, they speak slow. Yes, they're still talking about probably some easier topics, but being able to watch these videos and understand I mean, over 90% of it at native speed without worrying about, you know, the grammar and things like that, I think is a testament to just I don't know, just the want and the will and the drive that I have to learn Mandarin right now. And it's so rewarding. And that makes me want to study even harder. Like when I get that stuff, it makes me want to study even harder. As far as flashcards go, I do my flashcards from Anki. Although, like I said, the last couple of days I haven't done much because I've been reading a little bit more. And I don't know. I read the characters that I learn in Mandarin Blueprint. I'll go through the sample sentences that they give for those characters, and then that's it. You know, I do save them in a deck in Playco, but I've not been doing those. And then I'll end up seeing them in some sort of immersion that I'm doing, and it just kind of sticks. It's almost like a trust the system and it works, you know, don't overthink it. And again, like I said, the more that I can cut down with where I'm at right now and how much I understand, with me being able to cut study time down drastically, I can spend a lot more time immersing and being in like kind of in depth into Chinese content, and I think that is going to help. Like I said, I love writing. I'm never going to stop doing this. When I learn new characters, I'm going to write them down. I just have so many pages and so many pages of stuff, and I love, you know, I love all of this. And so I think that, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've found, you know, kind of a system that worked for me with a little bit of study and immersing. Because like I said, I do think in the beginning that study is very important. And I think people overlook it and they're like, let's just start immersing. But I think you have to build a foundation first. And I have a foundation. Could I pass an HSK 1, 2, or 3 exam? I don't know. I really don't. I know that I have a lot of vocabulary. I know that I've had conversations in Chinese at Chinese restaurants. So who knows? I'm satisfied with where I'm at. Yes, I want to get more in-depth vocabulary, but right now I'm happy with where I'm at for the time that I've put in. And I know that if I keep going forward and doing what I'm doing, it's just going to happen. Is it going to be in 3 months? You know, am I going to be fluent in 3 months? Obviously not. Am I going to be fluent in a year? No. I've probably already spent more than a year learning Chinese at this point collectively. I know it's going to take a long time, something I'll probably never be done with, you know. And so just knowing that and knowing that I'm happy with where I'm at and knowing that I'm happy involving myself with watching content and reading, it's just been really, really good. I feel like I've repeated myself a lot and my throat hurts. I have to spend a lot of energy to get a voice out. Like my voice is just purely gone. So I'm going to end the video here. If you have any questions, let me know down below. If you've made it this far, go check out Mandarin Blueprint. They are having their Black Friday sale where you can get, I think it's over 50% off, which is an incredible deal. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And yeah, that is all. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.